Right here, right now, it's LA South. And I'm Pamela Kay. And just what is a spoken word artist? Well, Tony Wilson's here with us up next, and he's about to blow your mind, and you'll find out. I'm honored to be with Tony Wilson. He's a spoken word artist, an author, and a host. Tell me about your latest project you've got going on a monthly basis.
Well, I'm an event host and spoken word artist. I host a monthly show called Between the Lines. It's both a poetry showcase and it's just a performance showcase. So we have different singers, dancers, some hip hop artists that come out, and we do a showcase. I give everybody 10 minutes and they get an opportunity to showcase their act, and then they can sell materials that different merchandise they have afterwards. And it started last May as kind of my entry to the whole spoken word world. I published my first book called Breaking the Cycle in June of 2006, and so in May I held a poetry open mic at the La Nuit Comedy Theater in Uptown New Orleans, and that kind of served as like the kickoff to me getting out there into the spoken word world. And then as more and more people started to hear about the event that I was holding monthly, then I got some more and more phenomenal acts that came out, and I mean, we have some amazing underground talent right now. And so it's just an opportunity for people to get on the big stage and showcase their talent, get their superstar moment, because that right there is really what's going to help break an artist. Is if you can get there and get on stage and do it in a bigger way, then, you know, that makes you more comfortable to continue your work. And so through that, I then started getting more gigs as hosting different poetry events, comedy events. And currently, I am the permanent host for a coffee shop that a partner of mine, another poetry guy, opened up called Specialty Cafe, 4337 Bank Street. And I'm the permanent host there, and we do a poetry showcase on Sundays called Poetry and Paintbrushes. Okay. And then we have acoustic music Mondays, and then an open mic on Wednesdays.
Now, that's a lot going on, and you're doing things not only to self-promote, but to promote other artists, which is
yes.
a terrific thing. You mentioned breaking the cycle. Mm-hmm. Now, for someone who's not familiar with a spoken word artist, kind of tie in breaking the cycle and what a spoken word artist actually does.
Well, Breaking the Cycle is a book of poetry and short stories, and it's something that I actually wrote about my life. Like, I said to myself years ago that I wanted to write, that I wanted to be a writer. So I basically took that moment of saying, here's my opportunity, let's make it happen. Now, I'm not the kind of person that can sit down and really just write like a whole novel or something like that. So what I did is I took poetry and short stories and used them in real life examples that I've experienced in my life. Everything from substance abuse, domestic violence, single parent homes, just in general, just being a young African American man trying to, you know, work towards success in the different obstacles that I've had to endure. And I encompass that into different poems and short stories that I would hope that if somebody could read them and are going through the same things, that it could resonate with them. And it has worked out exactly how I planned it. And it doesn't have to specifically even be for African American young men. You know, it's just anybody who understands plight and struggle can go through it. Can relate to it, shall I say. And as a spoken word artist, is basically, I'm a poet. So it's a very lyrical form. It's not hip hop. I've always been a fan of hip hop. I wanted to be a rapper growing up, but rap and hip hop doesn't really have the message that I really want to give off, and so I'm able to kind of infuse my my stuff with soul, hip hop, and then poetry, and then also like with theatrical monologues. So that's how like my whole spoken word movement has come about.
And you mentioned some really tough topics just a moment ago, but you don't stay in that dark, sad, hard place. You mm-hmm. end up really kind of with a very strong, encouraging message about love and hope and all of those things.
Well, if you stay there, you'll never get out of it. So it was me kind of just taking a proactive stance to say, like, you know, I have to get myself out of this. I have to get myself and my family to a point where we can express our story, because there's a lot of people that just keep it behind their four walls, you know, and they don't talk about it, what goes on in their homes, and they don't feel like they have an outlet to discuss those. And so I wanted to kind of, you know, put myself out there, and then hopefully other people would really put themselves out there in the same way.
We'll be right back with more Tony Wilson. We're back with spoken word artist and author Tony Wilson. Now, Tony, you were talking about a lot of personal experiences and how that really impacted you and made you passionate about the things you talk about with your poetry and your spoken word art right now. What's your impact on the younger generation?
Well, that's a lot of why I write. I'm an educator by my profession, and so that is something that I always wanted to make sure that I included in any work that I've done. So I took that as part of my career, but then I realized I can affect a much wider audience if I do it where I'm actually being vocal to the world and giving my message in an art form. And so that we do workshops with kids like 3-4 times a month. We go to different high schools and middle schools, and we work with anywhere between 5th graders to seniors in high school. We work with the alternative school, which are basically, there may be 11th graders who are 19, 20 years old, and these are people who have had the roughest of the rough patches. I've done work at different homeless shelters for teens, and the spoken word is, I think, that key to really, really, really reaching the kids, because it is such that middle ground between hip hop, rap, and then positive lyrics. And so many kids in general write or into rap and hip hop. So when we are out there, we're spitting stuff, and we're not talking about the topics that they would hear in rap, but it sounds just like they're rappers, right? So they get so pumped up and excited.
Give us an example of that.
Okay, it's a piece that I have called Ambition. It's the fractured beliefs that tells a 16-year-old boy in New Orleans East that a holster will suit him better than a cardigan and blazer, and a copper semi-automatic for anybody that look cross, locked and loaded, he's ready to spray ya. It's the fractured mentality that tells black men that all we're supposed to be is enemies before we even allow ourselves a chance to meet.
Wow. Wow. That's huge. That's huge. I recently saw you at a Raw showcase in New Orleans.
Yes.
500 people just were mesmerized. You got on stage, and then you just took control of the stage with words.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how words, just the spoken word, can really impact lives, and that's what you're doing. How does that make you feel?
Whew. It's surreal sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is not like people will call like a superstar moment. It's really not that. It's really just when I'm up there and you can look and you can see that people are listening intently. They're not focusing on anything else. They may be standing next to somebody, but there's no conversation going, and they're listening to you. And then they're following you so close in your words that they're actually finishing the words with you. Like I have a line in one of my pieces, and I basically talk about my issues with, like, I basically pay for school myself, and so I use a reference to like student loans and how I had to pay for college myself, and as it's like in a very rhymey form, and as I'm doing that, the people are following along with me with their hands, and they're saying the words, and they actually are finishing my line before I even get to it, because they're that focused on it. And then a lot of times the words that I'm speaking are really, really, really just preaching to the people. They're speaking to individual people. The topics that I'm talking about are things that other people have gone through, and you can just see that in them. You can see that energy come out of them where they may have been holding that in, but they let that out by hearing my words. So it's a major responsibility, and I'm honored that people can feel my work the way they do. But it is a major responsibility, and something I've taken into account of, like, I need to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can to represent myself in this work and the people the best way I can.
Well, you're very brave too to take such personal experiences and really just put them out there.
Yeah, yes.
Well, we're going to see more from Tony Wilson up next.
To all the beautiful women, I want to give you right now my gratitude and how I love that sexy attitude. You exude an air of such statuesque elegance. Most men say not to put you on a pedestal, but that line is too pushy. See, compounded ignorance can make little boys mistake what your true value speaks, but almighty goddess, don't be mistaken. Your hips do consume me when you walk. But I'm not stuck on the physical. See, I appreciate you. I need you. We need you. And at this time, let's celebrate all that you do that makes time with you so harmonious. I love it when your eyes cut low, glances even more sexy. Your scent lifts me out of my seat and keeps me longing. Baby, I'm even loving all the time you take to get ready in the morning. Strawberry lust scents, caramel macchiato, skin to the tongue's taste. I just want a moment in your heart space. You give me true beauty, enlightened wisdom, your pioneer spirit. I love your walks, to sit and talk, and all other aspects of love that most men care to neglect. My gratitude is there to match the fortitude of the spirit within you. And this I give unto you, to these queens out there now, my undying gratitude. And then next, I'd like to kick into a quick piece I have called Daydreaming. And because I couldn't pay those student loans, no credit collectors would pass you $2 even with your 3 jobs, full-time school, and that the only one helping to pay that tuition is you. So you pick up a side hustle, selling a little weed. I can't lie, I've done it. No longer the secret I thought I would carry to my grave, but it's my truths. I guess you won't see me on any future presidential debates. Well, that's just the path I had to take. To seize the day, I still want you in the same way. I never stopped thinking about you. I just lost you for a little while when I stopped believing in myself and how I let my creativity dissolve to the back of my mind, ignoring all these feelings locked inside, acting like a disease to me, wanting me to wither away to my own demise. But that's when I found my flow, buried deep in my soul. I pledged my heart to this poetry. I got allegiance to this game I enrolled. I could see cryptic visions of change and that these words can act as buffers that will one day change the world. So that's why I say that I'm an underdog, king of the misfits, giving praise to you, God, because life sometimes is a real trip. You see, I stand strong as a man, my virtues never doubted. Challenging the mold, becoming a nuisance to those that think I should stay in a little boy's place. For what reason? So that these winners can keep winning and they can treat those at the bottom like we should be grateful they let us have anything? See, me, I believe in the will to fight, and that these words will inspire change, to persevere, to have pride, to sacrifice, and that these virtues will lead you out that dark tunnel using G-O-D as your catalyst to eternal light. So take a socially constructed box and put me in it. I can't be contained. My fury will bust free. I got the blood of a slave and the heart of a king. A general in this game leading my troops to a state of glory. You could call it I'm scripting my own true Hollywood story. Like, first he was here, now he's doing better than. I'm focused like a high school kid chasing his Letterman. I am Tony Wilson. Thank you.
Hey, it's TJ
and Cody
with your Mix 107.1 entertainment news and celebrity gossip Monday, fresh week. I tell you what, we're getting closer to that UL graduation.
It's getting there. You're getting there, man.
The clock is counting down.
You're getting there.
Anyway, getting to some news. Chris Humphries and Kim Kardashian. When will the mess stop? I mean, it's over. Kim is pregnant for Kanye. Why you want to be so heartless, I don't know. But the sources say that Chris and Kim were actually divorced. Before the actual divorce, they were just faking it for the film.
That does not surprise me.
I mean, you think that would really happen?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's reality TV. Anything can happen. But I mean, if you are, just put yourself in Chris's standpoint. You're going to be together for, let's say, 3 hours to shoot the reality show, and then after that you're done. Like, you don't call, don't text. I don't think you can manage your life that well while you're doing that.
I mean, the whole thing was a joke. And that just should go, I mean, that should show you reality TV, the majority of it. It's just fake. It's all fake.
Yeah. I mean, I can see what you're talking about. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we got some news on Pink. You have more of that story.
Yeah, she's got her fourth #1 single with her latest featuring Nate Ruess. Give me a reason. And where do you rank her on, like, your top, I guess, artist of this sort of age
genre? Pink, she's actually came back with a strong punch. You look at Bruno Mars, you look at Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake's coming out, making a new name for himself, a different style of music, but it's him. You got Bruno Mars, you got JT. I want to say Pink is probably in the top 5 because I want to go with Bruno Mars, I want to go with Justin Timberlake, I'm going to go with Mumford & Sons, I'm going to go with the fourth one. I would say Maroon 5.
Yeah.
And then Pink would make it in the 5th one, right behind Maroon 5.
Now, do you like Pink? Be honest. Do you like,
I
you like
Pink.
the music?
I think she's actually joining forces with great artists. Nate from Fun, the lead singer of Fun. I think their voices together blends very well, very well. So I think we're gonna be on the scene of a lot more music from Pink, a lot more singles coming out in the next few months. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Anyway, I'm TJ.
And Cody.
This is your Mix 1071, entertainment news and celebrity gossip. We'll be back with you on a Wednesday. In the meantime, have a good week.
Hi, my name's Carissa Couvion with Louisiana Lunch Money. You probably don't know this, but thousands of children every day throughout Louisiana go without a hot lunch while attending our schools. This is a problem that needs to be addressed by us, the public. We can all come together to fund this program, Louisiana Lunch Money. With your help, we can expand beyond just Lafayette Parish, where we are currently serving. We've served over 17,000 lunches and counting every day. These children are children who go without lunch because there is a no charge policy throughout the state. Every day, these kids go through the cafeteria line, and instead of receiving the hot lunch, they get a snack meal. In every parish, the snack meal is different. In Lafayette Parish, it was graham crackers. In some parishes, it's a sandwich. These kids don't qualify for the federal free lunch program. So these are kids of working class citizens who might forget their lunch, might have an extenuating circumstance, some kind of situation within the family. And if they don't have funds in their account, then they receive a snack meal. Since August of 2011, we at Louisiana Lunch Money have successfully raised funds and have fed these children. And we basically have an emergency lunch fund. We are currently serving Lafayette Parish and would like to expand with your help. Please go on our Facebook page and like us at Louisiana Lunch Money. You can also visit our website at louisianalunchmoney.org, and you can contact me directly through those sites. My cell phone number is on there, and we would like to have sponsors and help. We're always looking for volunteers to continue this program and to continue to feed our kids. Every child needs lunch to learn, and with your help, it's possible.
Thanks for joining me here on LA South. Make sure and check out Tony Wilson when he is in your area, because yes, he is the spoken word artist. And make sure and check us out on Facebook for all the latest guests and all kinds of fun prizes you can win only on LA South TV. That is the Facebook site you go to, LA South TV, all one word, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Stop. Whether it's on the way to school, at school, or online, bullying has become a non-stop threat to our youth today. Is your child being bullied? The National Runaway Switchboard can help. If you're having a hard time, get on